Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. I'm answering publicly posted questions on avo.com. And here is our question. I was terminated from my employer due to a positive drug test, but I feel the lab messed up as I was retested and it shows that I am negative. Here's the body of the question. My husband worked in a shop and he had an accident, and it was protocol that you will take a drug test, and they called in a company to handle the test. They did a breathalyzer, which came back negative. They did a urine test then, and that said it came back positive for opiates. But they did admit it could be a false positive due to medication, Bentyl, that the husband takes for IBS. They decided to do a saliva test, and in 3 or 4 days, that test came back, and they were asking why he would have 503 milliliters of codeine in his system. He has not taken any codeine at all and has no reason why that could show up in his system, and so they fired him. Less than a week later, we did some research on drug testing, and specifically drug tests using hair follicle tests, and how that could go back a full 90 days. So they did that test, and the hair follicle test came back negative for opiates, right? No codeine, no opiates. This caused a lot of issues for the family. It's a hardship, which I understand. Certainly any lost job, especially now, especially during the holidays, especially during COVID, it's all horrible. And they feel really strongly that the drug company messed up, and they're looking for help. So here's one potential thing to think about. And you're going to have to talk to a local employment attorney. You need to go and talk to your husband's doctor. I don't know what Bentyl is. I'm not a doctor, but he's got this medication he's taking for IBS, right? So you got to talk to your pharmacist and your doctor about what Bentyl can come back as a false positive for, what it can come back as in drug testing, right? Because IBS could be a disability under local law, and I believe it's going to be viewed as a disability under federal law, right? So if they're targeting your husband because of medication he takes for his IBS disability, well, that's a claim, right? And that claim could be enough leverage to get the job back if that's what your husband wants. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm not a doctor, not a pharmacist, not a scientist. Frankly, I'm not that bright, just good at employment law. And I'm telling you that myself, so even that could just be me being arrogant, right? But that being said, this is how I would go about it if I was trying to get that job back. I would, talk to the doctor, talk to the pharmacist, see what Bentyl can come back as, and they may not really know, right? Sometimes you run into doctors, pharmacists who, don't really want to know, don't want to look it up. That's not going to work. You need an answer here, and if you can't get it from your doctor or your pharmacist, then you have to talk to another doctor. You need an answer, and all medical professionals are suspicious of opiates right now. There's an opiate epidemic going on. I understand what you're posting here, that your husband is not part of that epidemic. And I believe you. But what I'm telling you is doctors are, generally speaking, super suspicious of opiates these days, because they have tons and tons of people trying to scam them out of opiates, right? So, or trying to scam them into helping them with drug tests, things of that nature. So you're going to have to really lean on these doctors and say, listen, I get it. You've been burned before. People have been trying to get opiates out of you. We're not those people. We're not trying to get that. We need to know what Bentyl can come back as. We need to know because this is our life. This is my husband's livelihood. This is how my family is supported. Please, just do your job. Look it up. We need this, right? And that's the conversation you have to have with the doctor. Maybe they won't need to have that conversation. Maybe they're going to help you because it's the right thing to do, because it's their job, because they're good doctors, good pharmacists. Maybe. Could be. Not always how human nature works. So you need to be ready to really push the issue if they don't want to help, or to talk to another doctor who does want to help. I hope this was helpful. And if it was, consider liking and subscribing, because that helps me to help more people just like you. Good luck.